Update. I saw my husband and my sister naked in my kitchen. Original post. I can't move. If I move, it becomes real. And I have to accept what I saw and think of what's next. I came home from work early and saw my sister's car, thinking maybe she was dropping off some food from her job. But no, I walk in and see my husband and sister naked in my kitchen. The kitchen I paid for. As soon as I registered what I saw, I got into my car and left. I kept driving. Just driving until I found a hotel I'm at now. I don't want to believe it. I don't know what to do. My sister, my only family, and my best friend, the one who's supposed to be there for me and support me. My husband, my person, my other half, the one who's supposed to love and respect me. The two most important people in my life have ruined everything. I've blocked them both on my phone. I don't want to hear any of the BS excuses they'll come up with. I don't want to confront this. I want to go back to this morning when everything was fine. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Just from a banking standpoint, as I work at a bank. File legal documents intending to separate. Open an individual bank account. Start your paychecks going there after you've filed your separation papers. I don't know what state you are in, whether it's a community property state or not, but keep everything as clear-cut as possible so there won't be issues down the road. Deal with them with your head held high as you can. Don't take their BS and cry when no one is watching. In front of them, be the badass that you are. They're the lowest of the low, and they will prey on your perceived weaknesses. Best of luck, OP. You need to be in every cheating sub. This is excellent advice, and something I don't think a lot of people know about. Unblock them and just let their calls go to voicemail. Turn the ringer off for each of them in your contacts. That way, you can get recorded proof of their apologies and excuses via voicemail. You may need that type of proof for your divorce. This is good advice. I hope OP sees this. I wouldn't have thought of that. Goodness, my heart breaks for the OP. This is devastating. If they leave voicemails, OP will still have those saved under blocked messages. At least I know that's how it is with iPhones. Just in case, OP may feel like she needs to keep them blocked for their own mental health. I feel like if it was me personally, I would need to. The my only family part is what hit me hard. I'm so sorry, OP. Yeah, we cut contact with our abusive parents 7 years ago. Thought we were supposed to have each other's backs. Always. Yeah, the betrayal is going to be the hardest part to get over. I'm so sorry. I have nothing but empathy for you, OP. Now for the update. Sorry for not replying to comments and not updating. Things have been hectic. I didn't think I needed to explicitly say this, but by naked, I meant they were butt naked and banging in the kitchen. I admit mentioning that I paid for the kitchen was odd and kind of funny. But anyone that knows me knows that the kitchen is my pride and joy. So yes, when I saw my sister and husband going at it in my kitchen, it stuck with me. And yes, they did see me. When I got to the hotel, I cried for a few hours. And then I just wanted to tell someone. Anyone. The two people I would talk to when something happened in my life were the two I needed to talk about. And it was 11-something in the evening. So I wasn't going to disrupt my friends' evenings and burden them. So instead, I came to Reddit thinking not many would see it. The response I received was overwhelming. I want to say thank you to everyone that sent me kind words and advice. Thank you so much for all the virtual hugs. I only commented once, that is because I had so much to think about and do. I appreciate all the love and support. There was so much amazing advice given in the comments, and although a lot of it was American-based, I still appreciate it. But one thing I did see a lot was to unblock them and keep the texts and calls as evidence, so I did do that. After posting and another good cry, I knew that I had to get myself together. I didn't have my sister or any family to help, so I had to do it myself. I started researching what my next steps were. In the morning, my friend called me saying my sister contacted her wondering if I had been in contact with her. I told her what happened, and she very kindly offered her spare room and her day off work to help me sort stuff out. I called in sick at my job, and my friend helped get things done. I got in contact with my friend who works at a bank, and she helped me start sorting my financials. My friend also found me a lawyer to consult with. After my phone consultation with a lawyer, I was so overwhelmed. I now know why so many women don't divorce their cheating husbands. It's such a lengthy, expensive, and emotionally draining process. I fortunately make a stable income and can support myself, and we, fortunately, don't have kids. I have to remember that things aren't going to happen in one day, and it will all take time. As for the house, unfortunately, his parents bought it for us. And to be honest, after what I saw, I don't want it. I will try to get reimbursed for my beloved kitchen though. Otherwise, it can burn for all I care. This has been super draining, but I knew I had to talk to them. I already knew there was no coming back for my husband. And when I checked his messages, they said exactly what I thought they would say. I'm sorry, it's not what it looks like. Wouldn't mean for it to happen. Please come home. I love you. Blah blah blah. Just absolute BS. A small part of me thought maybe I could find it in me to forgive my sister as we only have each other. But after I opened her messages, all hope was lost. She used the same excuses we heard our father use when he cheated on our mother and beat us. She said the same things our mother would say when she would excuse our dad's behavior and also beat us. I spoke to her this morning and asked her to tell me straight up who, what, where, when, and why. She told me back in July when I went on a girls' trip, she was at our house and joked to my husband that I would cheat on him on a girls' trip because that's what always happens. He said nah, and they joked about it, but she said he could get even with me and they ended up doing it once. One time led to 2 to 3, then to whenever they could do it. There was never any evidence or signs or anything that I was going to or even thinking of cheating. I told her we were done, and there was nothing she could do to bring us back together. I later received a call from an unknown number. It was my mother, who I haven't spoken to in 7 years. Turns out my sister has been in contact with her and told her what had happened. And my POS mother, the same woman who beat me for breathing wrong, had the audacity to say this is what I get for taking her daughters away from her. It hurts so much. I know things are going to get messier and this is going to be a long few years. I've now lost all my blood relations. I need to get all my things and find a new place. I want to show them that I can and I will thrive without them. Again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart for all the love and advice. And to all the people in the comments that could relate to me, I'm so sorry. I'm very proud of you for taking charge and standing up for yourself. I know it's very hard, but you got this. You will get through this. Thank you for your kind words. It's pretty hard losing the only family I had, but I'm trying so hard to stay optimistic. Betrayal like this is freaking devastating. It will be long and hard and draining, but I will make it. Screw them. Family is more than blood. You happen to have some amazing friends. Keep them. You can do it, and you will make it through this. Your sister basically instigated the whole thing, and you had best believe this was very intentional on her part. She waited until you were gone, then went around to your husband and told him you would cheat on him, and he was stupid enough to go along with it. I'm not condoning your husband at all, as he is definitely trash, but your sister is definitely the worst here. You sound like you have great friends around you, and I hope you can get in for some therapy as well, as this level of betrayal is huge and devastating. Make sure you tell everyone exactly what happened and shame both of them. No one will think worse of you. They will see them for the disgusting a-holes they both are. Thank you for your comment. It's a hard pill to swallow, but yes, she did instigate the whole thing. Why? I don't know. And my ex-husband is very stupid and pathetic to go along with it. Sorry, but your husband didn't take much convincing, did he? He is trash. I have never, and will never, understand why people cheat. Best of luck, and I'm proud of you. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for inviting all but one of my siblings on vacation? Original post. I'm female 32 and my husband male 36, and our children typically spend one vacation every year with my older sister Mary 37, her husband John 39, and their children. The kids are very close and spend a lot of time together. My sister and I have 2 younger sisters, 31 and 27, and a younger brother, 25. This year, I extended an invite to sisters 39, 27, and brother. An invite that was not extended to sister Selena, 31, because a few years ago, she and my brother-in-law John had an affair. Mary worked very hard through therapy to stay married with John and to not ostracize Selena. Family members know of the affair, but it's not spoken of openly. Selena and John still see each other at family events but do not talk/sit with each other. Pretty awkward, but maybe the best possible outcome. My older sister and I found a beach house for our next vacation that had extra room, so invited the others to join and pitch in on the cost. Sister 27 agreed to come, and little brother declined so that it would not be all the siblings minus Selena. Somehow, Selena found out she was the only one to not receive an invite and is very hurt. Our mom says I should have invited her, knowing that she would have said no because she just had a baby and is a single mom on a very tight budget. Mom also thinks that a vacation with John, Mary, and Selena would be fine, that we should all act as if nothing ever happened. Even though Mary has expressed multiple times that while she still loves Selena, things can never go back to the way they were. Mary suffered from PTSD as a result of the affair. Because there are so many siblings, vacations are often split with only 2 or 3 of us going together. Nobody has expressed being upset about this in the past. I don't like the idea of inviting her, even knowing 99% she would say no. Because what if she did say yes, and I have to tell her it wasn't a real invite? Am I the a-hole? Edit to add clarification. John has also suffered real consequences from the affair, but asking him to stay at home while Mary and their young kids go to the beach is not really an option. All of the siblings have been really mature in loving and forgiving both parties. However, having them sleep in the same house would be putting Mary through trigger hell, the only one in the trio not at fault. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. She and John should have foreseen what would happen if they had an affair. John is lucky Mary kept him. I am sorry Selena feels left out, but she made her bed. It's just a pity you can't leave John out too. Edit to add. Again, this is a vacation Opie and Mary do every year. Opie isn't inviting John. Opie is inviting Mary, who wants to have her husband there along with her kids. It's just as much Mary's vacation as it is Opie's. If it was reversed and a vacation that Opie always did with Selena, then hands down Opie would have been the a-hole. But it wasn't. It isn't Opie's choice if Mary chooses to stay with her children's father and make it work. But I commend her for trying to stay on her side. And it isn't like Selena isn't invited to family events. Just vacations with Mary, so Mary can relax on said vacation. Depending on the age of their kids, it might not make for a very relaxing vacation for Mary if John doesn't come. Or maybe John is still a worthless a-hole and doesn't lift a finger. I don't know, but that seems like Mary's decision. Mary would never go on vacation without him. His kids would be heartbroken. He's a great dad in reality, and outside of the infidelity, was a good husband. Great dads do not teach their children that cheating is okay. He doesn't teach them that. They're young and have no inkling of the details that are not involved in the family drama, as it should be. I can believe Selena is excluded from these gatherings because she did an unforgivable thing. What I cannot understand is why John gets to stay married to Mary and gets invited to big family gatherings like everything is fine. He also did an unforgivable thing and has suffered no consequences. I don't even have a judgment, but I do not agree that this situation is the best possible outcome. I feel like that's up to Mary. She chose to stay married with him and wants him on the trips. Doesn't make her an a-hole for deciding to stay. Mom, I appreciate that you think that it would be fine if Selena came. But I disagree. Mary's still deeply hurt, and despite the fact that she manages to still see Selena as her sister, it would be wrong to take advantage of her goodwill by putting her in a bad situation. And it is simply wrong to extend an invitation to someone who is not actually going to be permitted to come. It unfairly gets their hopes up. And if they do accept the invitation, they then have to be uninvited, which is far more painful. Not the a-hole. However, there is a big difference between going on a trip with 1 or 2 other siblings versus all the siblings with one exclusion. It's not at all surprising that Selena is feeling hurt, that she has been specifically excluded. If you were ever in a situation like this again, I would proactively reach out to Selena and let her know that you were not intentionally excluding her from the sibling group. You were just unable to include her due to the history. She'll still be hurt, but at least she won't be blindsided when she inevitably hears about the trip she isn't invited on. Now for the update for anyone curious. By the way, thanks for the comments/suggestions/support. Turns out to be a classic case of the emotionally immature mother manipulating her children. I spoke with Selena directly to set the story straight, reiterate that I love her, etc. It appears that our mom fabricated the story of Selena being upset about the vacation. She understands completely, and honestly has no interest in vacationing with Mary and John. Our mom is unhappy about our family dynamic, and that things are not completely normal after the affair. She stated she feels like she's losing all of her children, and that she doesn't feel close to us. I don't know how stirring up drama fixes this. She's highly religious and critical of everything we do. So as my siblings and I grow older, we've really had to deconstruct our beliefs to make up our own minds, / thrive in our individuality. Needless to say, this does not make her happy. So if there are any threads on healing from childhood trauma / dealing with manipulative parents / advice on how to keep your mother at arm's length possibly, point me in the right direction. I don't think enough time and therapy in the world could possibly make me stay with someone who slept with my sibling. OMG, right? My friend's aunt was banging her sister's husband and got pregnant. She bragged about it and swore he was going to leave his wife for her. Welp, his wife gave him the ultimatum to choose, and he chose to stay with his wife and cut contact with his wife's sister. Still a gross situation. Did aunt keep the baby? She sure did. Of the nearly 8 billion people in the world, it shouldn't be that hard to not have an affair with your partner's sibling or your employee / employer. But what if it was an accident? Is the monthly theme of AITA siblings having affairs with their siblings' partners? Honestly, my sister and I had a talk when we were in high school. We both expressed how happy we are that we have completely different taste in men. This is just what I was thinking. My sister and I are both decent people, so we wouldn't sleep with each other's partners anyway. But the fact that neither of us are ever even slightly attracted to each other's partners makes it so much easier. John has also suffered real consequences from the affair, but asking him to stay at home while Mary and their young kids go to the beach is not really an option. Poor guy. All he did was screw his wife's sister. I hope he's getting the emotional support he needs. The comments from the post gave me more context. 1. Without John there, all the childcare of 3 young kids would fall on Mary, and that means she wouldn't have a vacation at all. And 2, this was always Opie and Mary's way for their kids to have nice bonding time. But if half the kiddos are missing their dad, the whole thing would be pointless. In my opinion, their mistake was opening the chance of drama by inviting other siblings on their yearly thing, but hindsight is 20/20.